There is one direction by chairman, the then chairman. It's of, I think, 1974. On the same issue, when the mover was not present in the house. Please, as they are telling you are not there. After telling them to reply, then please, I'll come to you. Just, I'll come to you. But first, let me read the direction of the chair. I cannot restrain myself from observing that the mover of the resolution is not present here, nor anyone who appended their names to the resolution is present here. As the opposition wants the minister to be present, when somebody moves a resolution, he should also be present to hear the debate. This is the ruling. Even then, briefly, in 2 minutes you put the point. Please.
Thank you very much, sir.
Yes.
Thank you very much, sir.
Please.
I am thankful to the deputy chairman.
2 minutes only. 2 minutes.
Sir, 5 minutes minimum, sir.
Please.
Sir, Honorable Minister.
Please.
Honorable, baite. What is it?
Just briefly you tell you आपकी समय जा रहा, आपका समय जा रहा.
Sir, Honorable Minister has facilitated promulgation of the ordinance and subsequently brought this bill, thinking that the foreign capital would come to this country. And she is much more relying on the promises of the foreign countries. There have been insistence on the part of US Trade Representative that you need to charge UPI. The same pressure was exerted on Brazil. They didn't heed them. Now, the policy of the government is completely being upended, and she has cleverly brought in the UPI component in this piece of legislation. Madam, see, what was the statement of the Honorable Prime Minister? I am quoting, sir. Prime Minister Modi told first G20 finance ministers and central bank governors in February 2023 that India's digital payment ecosystem had been developed as a free public good. Thus, the current bill goes against the principle of India. The government policy from 2017 to 2025 was to keep digital payment charges away from merchants and consumers. Thus, the current bill which she wants this House to pass is violation of the solemn assurance of the Honorable Prime Minister. And Madam Finance Minister knows that this NBCI have been formed by 50-55 stakeholders, including our banks and financial institutions. And she all of a sudden says that, sir, what is it, sir?
Time is over,
Sir, they are eager.
No,
Sir, at least the finance,
Conclude.
at least the finance minister should know what I am trying to say.
You have already spoken.
Sir, I will tell you one thing.
Please.
This government has to concentrate on the basic issues of this nation.
Thank you.
Sir, what is
Thank
it,
you.
sir?
Time is over.
What time, sir? I just
Time
wanted
was given 2 minutes.
Then I will not speak, sir. Give me 3 minutes.
You have already spoken.
Give me
Finish,
time, please.
finish.
Sir, what did they talk about the depreciating rupee? 2013, what was the statement of the Honorable Prime Minister? The rupee is in ICU. There is deep corruption in Delhi. That's why the rupee is plummeting. Sir, what is the rupee value now, sir? What is the rupee value?
Please.
How much rupee you have to pay to get a dollar? Sir, I can tell you, there is a foreign capital flight that we have
Thank you.
Sir,
over.
Sir,
Now 3 minutes over. No. Thank
Sir,
you. No.
Sir,
Now I'll request, please. You have 3 minutes. You have already.
Give me 1 minute. I'll sum up.
Please.
I request the Honorable Finance Minister. Please come on board
Honorable
and
Finance
explain to the
Minister Srimati
nation
Nirmala
that
Sitharaman
why
need to
the
reply the discussion. Honorable Finance, please. No, sir. I allowed you 3 minutes. The time was 2 minutes. Even I read the ruling. I read the ruling. You are not in the house. Please. Please. You are not in the house. Even then I gave opportunity to you. Please do not go. Honorable Finance Minister, please. Honorable Finance Minister. Abul, please. Abul. Honorable Finance Minister.
So, thank you, sir.
Please. Honorable. Please.
Thank you, sir. So, sir,
Have patience of listening, Honorable Finance Minister. Please, have patience of listening, Honorable Finance Minister now. Please.
so thank you, sir. As I said, we are dealing with 3 different acts and their amendments. Because of the evolving global situation, sir, Income Tax Amendment Ordinance of 2026 was brought in sometime early June 2026. And in that, we had just 2 proposals in the ordinance. The 2 proposals were
Please. Once, please, up, please, please. Please. Please.
Sir, that's
Please.
John Brittas can please stay here if he wants to hear one line, sir.
Yes,
That's
I
a
told you.
typical communist style. Blast everybody with not facts. Twist the facts and do something, and also demand my right, I have to speak, all that. And when actually the replies are going to be given to them point by point, they don't have the courage. Cowards! Communists in this country are total cowards. Member has proven that. They can't face facts, but they will go on filibustering, making noise. I have a right. They don't have a right to listen. When the reply is given, I feel like saying it's my right to stand up and reply. I honor every member for whatever they say and reply taking their names. Honorable John Britta should stay here to hear the reply, because he's been creating confusion all over, not just here but in the country, because that's the tactics the communists adopt. Total lies, sir. I'm sorry, lies may not be parliamentary, untruths. So when I said there are 3 acts we are dealing with today, one is an ordinance which was passed on 5th, ordinance which was issued on 5th June 2026, in order that we can address some of the challenging global situations. And that ordinance had only 2 particular aspects. It was issued with 2 things. First was an exemption of capital gains and interest on investment in G6 to FIIs. So if FIIs were to invest in government securities, they would get exemption of capital gains and also exemption on the tax exemption on the interest for those investments which are made in the G6. So that was one thing on which that ordinance came out. The other aspect that the ordinance came out on was providing again exemption, tax exemption for capital gains and tax exemption on interest on investments again in government securities to the Bank of International Settlement. So the ordinance of 5th June 2026 had only these 2 issues, and now that ordinance will have to be made into a law or made part of the law. So we are coming with those 2, but we are not coming with just those 2. we are bringing in newer things as well, in addition that is. So what are those newer things, sir? Again, keeping the global developing dynamic situation in mind, we have come up with a few more additional points which relate to taxation and other laws. So the first one, I'll be very brief about what are the additional things which are coming in. The first one is to extend the exemption period which are provided for foreign companies which provide capital goods equipments to a contract manufacturer. Take an example, sir, of some kind of a commodity which is being produced. But when producing that, they need certain tools or equipments to produce that. Those tools and equipments are not manufactured in this country, but they need that here. They may bring it here, use it here, and once the production is over, it may go back or it may be left behind because they are specifically made and designed for the production of these kind of tools. So, for them, the exemption of tax, the exemption from tax for those equipments which are uniquely for the manufacture of certain things that are produced in this country. So, that with some conditions we are allowing that exemption. The conditions, I will just say one or two conditions which have to be satisfied for becoming eligible for those exemption is the ownership of such capital goods or equipment or tools remains with the foreign company. It cannot be transferred to the local company. Such capital goods and equipment or tools is under the control and the direction of the contract manufacturer who's manufacturing in this country. Third, the contract manufacturer should be company resident in India and located in a custom bonded area. And finally, the contract manufacturer produces electronic goods on behalf of a foreign company for a consideration. If he fulfills these conditions, they will be eligible for the tax exemption for those tools, for those machines which come uniquely for manufacturing those items. So what would this do? For instance, some of the items are laptops, all-in-one personal computers and tablets, servers, ultra-small form factor USFF, as they say, sub-assemblies to the finished goods, and so on, sir. So this is aimed at getting larger ecosystem to come into the country so that a specific manufacturing which is now giving good results for India can now get the entire ecosystem to India so that that process of manufacturing is not a one-off item. So many other investments will come for providing additional support to that ecosystem itself and create employment, bring in newer investments and so on. So a larger ecosystem for enabling contract manufacturing for, not limited to, for mobile phones, laptops, personal computers, servers and related equipments which can be done in India. So that is one of the additional thing over and above the two ordinance related matter. The amendments are for this. The second one, sir, amendment of conditions of provisions providing exemption to a foreign company procuring data services from a specified data center. So this also comes with a lot of, and this exemption is provided up to the year ending 31st March 2047. Long-term certainty so that investments come. These are big ticket investments. They have to come with a certain certainty which can be provided to them. They also have a lot of such conditions. Now, what is the outcome that we are expecting by bringing this? The outcome that I'm expecting is to provide ease of doing business for companies, providing cloud services by way of procuring data center services in India.